All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, I don't know where you've been, but I have here with me Didi Akinyele, a CNBC Africa reporter, journalist, BBC Comla Dumore Award winner, and documentarian, website owner, many other things. You just got back from a BBC thing.
Yeah.
You work with the CNBC. These are two organizations that are sort of international media houses, and one of the things that I know a lot of Africans have against media houses like those is the fact that there's a belief that it's only the negative stories that like to be told. One thing that came up recently was with Ghana. The elections recently held in Ghana, you know, there was a lot of sort of goodwill from most Africans with the fact that an opposition party had won this and it was pretty much peaceful. CNN at the time comes up with this story about people in Ghana queuing up for food, and Ghanaians had to sort of fight back with a hashtag, I can't remember what it was. But basically saying, I mean, this is not all there is. Why is this what you want to talk about now that something great just happened? Why is that the case? And I mean, it's easy to sort of defend it, but I'm sure even you would have seen sometimes that, come on.
You know, honestly, I mean, I did see that, and, you know, I'm half Ghanaian, so half of me was
quite upset.
Half of me was pained as well, you know, but... you see, when I see that type of thing, first of all, I must say, obviously, I don't work for CNN, but, you know, I must say that journalists do make mistakes. And yes, you know, we must sort of be made accountable for the fact that we're making mistakes, because it's our job to, you know, we have such a voice and we speak to so many people. So in some cases, it's a mistake. In some cases, it's pure ignorance. So you have a reporter abroad who just doesn't really know much about the country, you know, and in some cases, yes, I guess, you know, the people that will say they're always trying to tell the negative, they like to, but I don't know if that's true, because it's just maybe, you know, when you say in general, BBC or CNN or whatever like to tell, you know, negative stories, who exactly are you talking about? You know, it's not the whole, not everybody in the institution is like that, first of all. I mean, yes, you are right. I mean, before I left, I had aunties that were calling me, saying to me, don't go there and be telling us the same story about poverty and hunger. We've heard it before. We don't want that. Do something different. So, you know, I got all that. And yes, I got there. And because I work as a business journalist, and as I say, business news is more investment growth, opportunity, so it's slightly more positive. We don't really do death, disease, disaster. We touch on it, but not really unless it impacts on the market. I did find, to be honest, that there seemed to be a lot more negative stories about Africa than positive stories about Africa, and I had to sort of challenge this, and I was like, why is, I mean, come on, you know, why is the news always so negative? And two hashtags, I was told, African Lives Matter and Africa Creates. Now, there was a case of, I think it was the second attack, terrorist attack in Paris. And of course, everybody was, you know, covering this story, a very important story. And then something happened in the north of Nigeria. I think 2,000 people or so, because you never really know how many, you know, how many people.
A lot of people died.
A lot of people died, and there's not a lot of people talking about that. So it is, you know, it is the right of those people, you know, the families of those people. You know, we need to tell their stories, you know. And so if there's something going on in Maiduguri or Akwa Ibom, we have to touch on those stories, because, you know, if it was you, you'd want to, you know, them to talk about the story about your family member. And then also the other thing is Africa Creates Stories, which is more about the creativity of Africa. In many cases, you find that Africa Creates Stories are not global enough. So somebody's opening up a shop in Lagos, and, you know, maybe say, oh, she started from nothing. To us here, we're thinking, oh, that's a fantastic entrepreneur story. That is wonderful. But in many cases, globally, they may look at that story and think, okay, so what's the story? What's the news in this story? You have to remember that the audience in some cases is not only African. The audience is global, but there is, I must tell you, there is a conscious effort. No. It is being talked about so much. I heard it all the time. There's a conscious effort to get the African story right and to change that African story. It's just a pity that, I guess, news, ask yourself, what is news? We want to hear, I want to hear about news.
Sensational things.
Exactly. So what is news?
Well, thank you very much, Didi. We challenge you to go and do greater things. We're enjoying them. And thanks for being here today. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much.
Well, like I always say, you can follow the conversation on Twitter at YNigerTV is the handle. The hashtag to follow is Rubbin Minds. You can also visit the website YNiger.tv. Remember, you've never seen young people talk like this before. I'll see you next week.